But I felt when Luka was in Dallas, we felt like if you're going to want to go and play with a superstar, Luka would be the guy to go and play with. Mm-hmm. It's tough to figure out what superstars you want to team up with in the NBA, and still a question on how much it actually works in the NBA. But if you wanted to go, you felt, man, Luka in Dallas would be a nice spot. Mark Cuban's a good owner there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened as much as they thought they would have, but now when you put Luka on the Lakers and you think of them host LeBron James, which is going to be sooner rather than later, like, this is what's so intriguing. What happens with Luka and the Lakers over the next week or two without LeBron? I don't think that they need to rush LeBron back. I think you get a glimpse of what the future can be.
Yeah.
And what makes it even more infuriating if you're not a Lakers fan, if you're a fan of the 29 other teams in the NBA, is that turnstile that I thought was going to happen with the Mavericks, or at least players wanting to go there and getting in line to go and play in Dallas. I think it's going to be even longer with the Lakers because of the cachet of being a Laker. And then you're not going to have the cloud of LeBron as much. It just, to me, it just keeps on getting worse and worse, the trade, and every single domino that falls has just not fallen in the way of the Dallas Mavericks at all. Yeah. And now Luka's got an opportunity to show what life's going to be like without LeBron for the next couple of weeks.
Great point. And I don't know what that answer is. Luka is special. There was moments in his career early on when superstars didn't want to play with him because of the style of play that he played. He had to make every play, right, early on in his career.
Sure.
Kyrie came, and he was able to kind of, I guess, defer to someone or feel that somebody was on the level that he could defer to, right? And so that started to work out, and they became brothers and really tight, and it looked really good. It's going to take somebody like that. I don't think it's going to be another young superstar to team with him, but it's the right, mature type of superstar that can team with him because he is similar to LeBron in the way he plays, right? And we talked about this before. LeBron's gravity, his gravitas, sometimes scares other players away because they won't get the credit. It will be LeBron. It will be Luka. And so it will take a type of player, type of superstar to fit in. So I think it's still up to see. I think with LA, it's a better situation than Dallas because it's LA.
It's not for everybody.
Yes.
I think that's the point that you're making. And the other point of this is with LeBron, everything else comes with it. To your point, Luka was just probably, and I'm saying this just in a phrase, young and dumb. Just a young player, didn't know what the league was like. So he comes in as the star player. It's his. Now you've been in the league long enough. You kind of know and I know that there's still issues. Brian Windhorst ripping Luka in the NBA Finals for complaining. Understand all of that, but you would hope that there's progression. Yeah. And then that leads to what could be for the future of the Lakers. That's the part for me is, in last night's contest in Boston, great energy.
It was great.
And I've ripped the Celtics brand because I feel that it's not as big as it once was. Yeah. But that was good TV last night. That was a good spectacle. Even when Boston has the dominating third quarter, Lakers figure out a way to try to get back in it, and in the end, Boston ends up winning. But that's the sort of stuff. So that's good TV, and it's a good product. But I still cannot get away just from the trade and where it is. And now I think with LeBron's injury, 1 to 2 weeks, what's the point? Like, you're up there in the second seed right now. Take it easy as much as you can. Maybe early April, come back, turn it on. Let's go to the playoffs. That's what I think would be the best course of action for the Lakers.
No, you're 100% right. We're going to get a window of what we're going to have a chance to look into the window and see what this team can be without LeBron for a couple of games, right? And I think for Luka, it's going to bode well with him to get the real chemistry in the way that, like you said, how it's going to look when he is gone post LeBron. But Luka has to get healthy. Did you watch that game last night?
Some of it.
He was laboring the whole game, and that's kind of what Dallas' sticking point has been about getting, moving on from him, right? And obviously, you move on to Anthony Davis, who's injury prone, so it doesn't make sense. But what the bad part of Luka and what we were talking about last year, even in the finals, showed up again in this game. Jaylen Brown dogged Luka in that game, and it's funny because if you look at it aesthetically, it looks that way. He probably still had 30 points, Luka.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy.
Yeah. Offensively, Luka had his time. defensively, I'm just watching Jason Tatum
man.
stick one in his face.
Everybody, Dan. Everybody who had a chance to go one-on-one with Luka, they took that chance.
And we're going to talk about the big trade in the NFL that happened a few days ago. I looked at the Lakers' run that they had on in this. You know, like beating a Minnesota team is worthwhile.
Yeah.
Losing in Boston is no shame.
Yes.
You know, so like I hate to say it, but you almost expect to lose in Boston. If LA would have won that game, I would have been more surprised. But you know, it wasn't a who's who, but there was enough there. The win in Denver that they had during that streak to show you that there's something there. But you do wonder when you start to play playoff type of basketball. And I feel Boston got up for that game.
Yep.
You also had a string where they had guys sitting out a couple of games, and you had the Peyton Pritchard, Derek White 40-40, that 40-40 club.
That's right.
So there was a lot that ended up playing into last night's game, but now we see life without LeBron, and again, how much that trade comes to fruition.
Dan, what you know about the 40-40 club? You know, I was running through that at my time.
I'm sure what was it like? This is the stuff that people want to hear.
What? The 40-40 club, that was my stomping ground after games. I would go there to watch the other games and eat good food and rub elbows with Jay-Z, you know, that type of thing. It was a real thing. And that's pre-social media, so it was real fun.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it was. That would seem like a place where you'd put a place where they'd make you put your phone away. Or like put it in, you know, you go to a comedy club and you have to put it in like those magnetic lock carrier things.
That's the Dave Chappelle effect, yeah.
That would be, that's what I feel that you would get at the 40-40 club.
Damn, we didn't even need to. They didn't have to tell us. We were so like here. It was a different time.
There seems to be an unspoken bond where everybody knows that they don't want any of this on camera.
Yes.
Because there's only the select certain people are getting through, right?
That's the part, yes. So, I mean, if you're in there in the places that we were, you know, there's different levels. You're not going to have your phone out recording.
For someone who really hasn't gone to a party in 30 years, I feel my understanding is much further along than maybe other people.
I saw you, Dan. I saw you in there one time.